Hello, good afternoon, and or good morning in some places maybe, and hopefully some place in good evening maybe. Now, here in Japan, time is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so now it's time to begin the webinar. First of all, thank you so much for joining to our webinar about ambient dust or invisible flying particulate matter monitoring technology today. My name is Kazuhito Maeda. I'm responsible for overseas department and global marketing at Matsushima Measure Tech. Today, I will be hosting this webinar, and our industrial marketing specialist, Mr. Mamoru Omura, will present the main session for ambient dust monitoring technology. And he's going to show you the unique sensor air dust monitor and some several useful applications with air dust monitor. Before starting the webinar, I'd like to tell you some precautions. Your microphone is muted during the webinar, so please use the Q&A column on the right side of the screen if you have any questions. And questions are welcome at any time. You can send your question by text on the Q&A column at any time. And then we will have the Q&A session at the end to reply to your questions. And in case we do not have enough time to reply to your question during this webinar, then we will send an answer later by separate email. Okay, let me introduce our company briefly in a short time. We, Matsushima Measure Tech, we are the solution provider for measurement or monitoring applications in various things since 1946. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range of product ranges. The first one is level sensing. We have ladder level transmitter, various level switches, and we also have some customized special level measuring system devices for especially for harsh applications. We have some reference in blast furnace in steel, BOF converter, and we also have some reference in cement applications, clinker cooler, or something like this. And second one is dust sensing technology. Today we are going to focus on this technology. And we also have safety sensing. This is mostly about the belt conveyor applications. We have safety sensors, belt misalignment correction devices, or belt rip detector. We have such various sensors and devices for belt conveyor operation optimizations. And we also have robot systems. And regarding network, we have subsidiary company in China and South Korea. And distributors, we have a distributor in Taiwan, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines, Australia, Mongolia, Russia, and US. Okay, this is today's topics. Ambient dust or invisible flying particulate monitoring technology. The monitoring sensor is our new product, air dust monitor. Okay, let me explain a little bit about background of this development. Actually, we've been supplying triboelectric principal dust monitor for industrial stock or industrial dust collectors like bag halves, bag filters, and also electrostatic precipitators, scrubbers, blah, 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 something like that, over 20 years, since over 20 years. And during this period, we've got many demands or requests or advice, opinions from our customers about further improvements. Those were like, there are some other places than dust collectors. They want to measure dust concentrations. And some gentlemen said we prefer portable devices and with instant measurement indication or something. And someone said we want to measure dust concentration at very high places or the places where it's difficult for human to approach or access. And someone said we want wireless devices, blah blah blah. Then we decided that then finally we developed this air dust monitor to meet against those requirements. Today in this webinar, we'll show you some typical applications and its benefits by using this air dust monitor. Yes, we hope this our webinar today will be helpful and useful for your activities and for your human life. Okay, Omura-san, could you start the main session for ambient dust monitoring technology today? Just a moment, I'm gonna switch the screen to you. Just a moment.
Thank you, Mr. Maeda. I'm Mamoru Omura, working in the export team of the sales department. We'd like to introduce the dust monitoring, ambient dust monitoring in this seminar. In my section, I'd like to explain about the environmental issue and solution and the principle and the features of the air dust monitor. And next one is the application, model lineup, and also the advantage of the air dust monitor. And finally, I will explain about the optional services of the air dust monitor. After my air dust monitor session, we will have a new release announcement. I hope you will join until the end, and you will get the new information from us. The first part is the environmental issue. In many industries, the manufacturing processes generate the dust in their plant, or some industries use the powder as their material. For example, at demolition work, dust control is not mandatory. If dust leaks out, they spread out the neighborhood and may cause the air pollution. The next one, at the welding work, the fume dust will be collected by the dust collectors. But the effect of the dust collector depends on the working condition, including the facility layout. The third example is the working condition. Some companies monitoring the working environment periodically, but it is not enough monitoring. After finding the dust leakage, we don't know the when it started by the periodic measurement. In any cases, we'd like to find the leakage of the dust in the early stage. Then want to make some treatment before it becomes a serious problem. Matsushima introducing the air dust monitor as an effective solution for the dust control. To monitoring the ambient environment, we'd like to introduce our air dust monitor. Air dust monitor measures the dust concentration in the atmosphere, and it can be used at any place you want to measure. The next part is the structure and principle of the air dust monitor. The dust in the air comes from the intake part, goes through the short duct inside and goes out from the exhaust part. In the duct, there are sensor probes monitoring the electrical charge generated by the dust. This measuring principle is called the triboelectric measurement. Each dust particle has an electrical charge. The sensor probe monitoring this electrical charge transferred from the dust passing from the sensor or passing through the sensor. Next, I will explain about the features of our air dust monitor. First one, It can monitor even small particles. Therefore, you can stop and treat the leakage even the small amount. Second, even if there is no airflow, the ambient air can be intaked by the auto-sucking function. Therefore, air dust monitor can be applied at any place. Next one, it outputs the analog signal for the measuring value. It can be applied for the control of the dust collector system. Finally, the adjustment and maintenance of the air dust monitor is very simple. For the adjustment, you can set up the only two things, measuring range and integration time. For the maintenance, the probe, fan, and duct adjust, clean up just only the rack. Because they are very simple and no special knowledge is required, it is reducing the maintenance work. Next, I will introduce the 5 applications of the air dust monitor. The first application is monitoring the raw material process in the manufacturing processes. First one, dust comes from the packing process like a cement and food flour. In the middle one, next one, when the piping got broken by the corrosion, dust leaks from the hole. Also, last one is the dust comes from the transferring chute of the conveyor. Dust generated in the plant is harmful for the human health. Also influence the quality of the manufacture. If the dust leaks is found and controlled in the early stage, it reduces the risk of the human health and improves the manufacturing quality. Second application is the material yard. The dust from the stocked materials may cause the problems of the neighbor's building, cars, and laundries as well as human health. In many material yards, the water spraying around to reduce the flying dust. Air dust monitor informs when the spraying water needs and when it can be stopped. Consequently, air dust monitor saves the amount of the spraying water. The next application is a welding work, generating the welding fume, which is very harmful for the human health. To protect this fume the welding worker wearing the mask or the ventilation system is installed collecting the dust. But do they work well? Or do they work all the time? If air dust monitor is mounted near their worker, it monitors the fume all the time. When finding the higher fume, our air dust monitor informs and gives the alarm signal. The next one is at the demolition site. Harmful asbestos may be found in the old building. It will be a serious problem if it spreads out to the neighborhood. Air dust monitor prevents the dust from the spreading, and monitoring the data will be evidence for the dust control. The last application is the tunnel work. Drilling work generates the dust in the tunnel. The ventilation system would work, but monitoring the ambient environment protects the workers' health and safety. Air dust monitor supports these cases and very useful because it is easy to install and easy to carry. Next, I'd like to introduce the model lineup of the air dust monitor. First, integrated model, which is a very compact type. And the middle one, second model is a separated model. Sensor part is separated from the transducer. And the last one is also the separated model. Additionally, it is equipped with a battery and wireless devices. Okay, how do we select the suitable model? How do we do the best selection? Okay, for example, when the enough space and power supply is available, the integrated model is recommended because air dust monitor can be installed at any place. As the next model selection, in the high place, narrow space, or the place is difficult to approach, we recommend the separated model. The sensor part is installed at the site you want to monitor and measure. And the other hand, the transducer is installed at the accessible and safe place separately. When the wiring and the power supply is not available at the site, the battery and wireless separated model is selected. The model does not require the wiring and power supply. The measuring data can be monitored by the PC or the mobile in real time. Also, the upper alarm can be notified by email. Next, I'd like to introduce some technical advice for the air dust monitor. When the dust is floating in the air without wind, the installation of the air dust monitor does not have any limitation, and the original intake direction can work. On the other hand, in the windy condition, the intake direction should be turned upwind. In case of the rising dust, air dust monitor should be installed at the high position, and the air intake direction should be facing down. For example, in the fume application, because the fume goes up by welding heat, air dust monitor should be mounted above the welding work, and the air intake should be facing down. When the condition has airflow, the mounting position and the air intake direction depends on the airflow to intake the dust effectively. On the other hand, in the falling dust application, including the high specific density material, for example, the iron powder, air intake should be facing up to collect the dust effectively. In this case, the original direction may not collect the dust effectively, and also indicate the less measuring value than actual value. According to the dust characteristics, you will find the proper air intake direction. In the next section, I will explain about the advantages of the air dust monitor. We have another continuous dust sensor, so-called the dust monitor. It is a long-selling product for more than 20 years. Air dust monitor is designed from the original air dust monitor. It developed with the auto-stacking function to monitor the ambient environment. Therefore, we are very confident in the performance and quality of air dust monitor. Second, air dust monitor measures the ambient environment 24 hours a day. Because it can find small leakage, you can stop this leakage at the early stage before it becomes a serious problem. Next one, there is no limitation for the installation because air dust monitor is portable. Air dust monitor can be installed and applied for the various applications. For example, the outside the yard, also the inside the plant. Next is for the higher place, narrow space, or the place where it's difficult to approach. The separated model can be applied. The sensor is installed at the monitoring site, and the transducer is mounted at the safe place separately. When the power supply is not available, the battery and wire separated model can be applied. The measuring data can be monitored by the PCs or mobile in real time. Air dust monitor outputs the analog signal for the measuring value. This analog signal is very useful for the controlling the dust collector, which is a result in saving the energy. Okay, next one for the air dust monitor, we have two option services. One is a demo unit is to confirm the performance at your local site. Before purchasing this sensor, you can try and find it is effective to monitor at your local site or not. And the next one, second one, another service is maintenance for the sensor by the Matsushima team. It results in the safe and stable operation in your process. Okay, that is all of my air dust monitor session. I hope you get some clear image for our air dust monitor. Thank you for listening my session.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Omura-san. I could understand the dust monitor has wider variety of application comparing to the conventional dust monitor for dust collector application. Thanks again, Omura-san. Now, before starting Q&A session, please let me have a few minutes to introduce the other new dust sensor, air particle monitor. As you may probably understand, those are our two dust monitors, dust sensors like triboelectric dust monitor and air dust monitor. Both of them relatively for higher dust concentration or for industrial process. But we've got many requests for lower dust concentration applications from the market. Okay. You can see this positioning map. This positioning map showing dust concentration and applications. Vertical axis is for dust concentration, and the upper side means higher dust concentration. Industrial process or our living circumstances are located in relatively high or middle concentration area, as you can see in this positioning map. Our dust monitor and air dust monitor covers these dust concentration ranges. And we see there are some other applications requiring lower constant measurement abilities. Now you see the yellow one. We call this as particle counters, general particle counters. Most of all particle counters are generally for lower concentration clean room applications. And you can see now these three sensors covers most of all applications. But recently we've just noticed that those general particle counters are basically for instant measurement and not for continuous measurement. It means it's difficult to achieve process control with those general particle counters. So that's why we decided to develop new dust monitoring sensor covering lower concentration but providing continuous measurement signals. That is our air particle monitors, our new product air particle monitors. This our air particle monitor covers this concentration ranges. I mean that purple one. This our air particle monitor covers this concentration area and providing 4 to 20 milliamp analog output for continuous measurement signals. Plus, additionally, we also have dry relay contact for alarm and for control as well. So we believe this sensor is quite useful for someone who wants to control for the process. For example, ventilation control according to the dust concentration or something like that. Measurement principle for our dust monitor and air dust monitor is triboelectric principle, but this our new product air particle monitor is the principle is light scattering principle. And if we talk about specifications, abilities, it is possible to measure particles from PM 0.3. And if we talk about concentration ranges, it is possible to measure from 35 microgram per cubic meter. And also we have particle counter functions on this our air particle monitors. But if we talk about particle counter function, this our air particle monitor is applicable from clean room classification setup. Anyway, please remember such dust sensor for lower concentration ranges but with continuous measurement and control signal is now available from Matsushima Measurtech. Okay, so this our new product air particle monitor. We have several demo units at the moment, but first mass production lot is will be in October this year because of the availability of semiconductor products. We'd like to launch it earlier, but as you may probably know, the semiconductor part is relatively short in the general market. So anyway, please feel free to let us know if you want to reserve to purchase these new sensors. And let me give you some example about the air particle monitor. Some applications. Like we think this sensor is useful for manufacturing process requiring cleaner environment conditions, like precision parts production, semiconductor production, or something like that. And also for, I believe this is useful for large shopping complex or multi-story parking lot or construction work site or something like that. Anyway, we are planning to have another detailed webinar for this new air particle monitor probably in August or September in this year maybe. So, okay, thank you so much for your time. Why don't we go to the Q&A session from now? Okay, thank you again for joining to the webinar, but we have to terribly sorry about it seems our slide, the presentation slide was like stuck or freeze in some places. Maybe at the moment we didn't catch what was wrong. So, but we will try to find a problem and improve for the future. And Also for this full webinar movie, we will make the complete version and upload to the YouTube and send it to you by email, the link for someone who didn't catch the webinar this time. So anyway, so let us go to the Q&A. It seems we have 4 or 5 questions now. So the first question is, does air dust monitor output any fault alarm signal when it has malfunction? Or does it have a self-diagnosis function? Is calibration required as regular maintenance? So this gentleman send us 3 questions maybe. So,
Okay.
Omura-san, can you reply to answer to this question?
Okay. When the sensor has a malfunction and the transducer outputs the fault alarm signals, because the CPU of the air dust monitor has a self-diagnosis function, it outputs the fault alarm. If the sensor itself is sending back to our plant, we also have a calibration service at our factory. So some our regular customer requesting the calibration in a factory in every 1 or 2 years.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, also, yeah, we know some places, some customers have such regulation that they have to make the calibration every 2 year, 1 year, according to their internal regulation, according to ISO standard or something. So in that case, also we can meet for such requirements. So you don't need to worry about that. Plus, this sensor has self-diagnosis system, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so next question is, how long can the battery continuously last? So, okay, so this means probably the separated type. Battery type, yeah. So, Omura-san, can you reply to this question?
The battery type, the battery itself is continuously lasts about 8 hours. The battery driven type has like a timer function. So you can switch the continuous operation, also intermittent function, on, off. So you can shift to the timer function. And the intermittent operation, and maybe you can use more longer than the 8 hours.
So this, oh, I see. So not for the continuous, but for example, the customer has once a day.
Yes.
Or once a day. So the requirement is a measurement for once a day or something. In that case, we have a longer. I see. Okay. So, okay. So next question is, how far can wireless device work?
How far? Our wireless devices type applied 920 megahertz band, 920 megahertz band, which gives approximately the 8 kilometer range, 1 kilometer range in the open environment. However, sometimes its communication range is limited. It depends on the environment. For example, the building layout and the many building, and it will be limited. But the open range approximately the 1 kilometer.
I see. Okay. Okay. So next question is, how often should air dust monitor be maintained? Okay, I think this customer he's asking about maintenance. Yeah.
Okay. It depends on the operation of the facility. Each application has each maintenance regulation, so or like a maintenance cycle. But we recommending to the maintenance so that every dust leakage. But sometimes the customer continuously using, and we recommending to the checking to the surface of the built up the material. So some material is built up, we recommend to the clean up every time.
Okay. So the cleanup means it's. Are you talking about the probe on the?
Yeah, pro.
Can you?
Yeah. So this is the actual demo unit, and we will open. So this is the power supplier and controller. Then here is the sensor part. So you can take up the sensor. So you can see the short piping. This is the intake part, and this is the exhausted part. So you can intake the air from here, and short pipe goes through the short pipe and goes out. So this is the sensor part. So this part is very sensitive, so you have to clean up if the material is covered overall. So if the dry run and you can clean up and easy maintenance, then return back. So very easy.
Okay. Okay. So one moment. Uh-huh. So probably any other. Okay. Next question is, other than the particle concentration, can air dust monitor detect various particles with different sizes?
Okay. Our air
I
dust
see.
monitor, air dust monitor can detect the particle size bigger than the 0.3 micrometer.
Mhm.
So above the 0.3 micrometer particle, our air dust monitor can be detected. Yeah.
I see. I feel this gentleman is uh, imagine the maybe particle counters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So in case of particle counters, the sensor is counting each particles. For example, number of PM 2.5, PM 0.5 is how many PM 10 is how many PM 10 particles or something like that. So, but this case, this air dust monitor is triboelectric principle dust concentration measurement, right?
Concentration measurement.
So because of the triboelectric principle, this one can measure dust concentration independent from the particle sizes.
Yeah.
For example, the big one particle is flying. The particle counter, for example, is counting one. Yeah. But this air dust monitor is measuring, oh, okay, 10 milligram per cubic meter or something. So what I want to say is this one is concentration measurement machines. It's not the particle counter, but yeah. And his answer is right. And air dust monitor can detect the smallest particle size is 0.3 microns. Okay, I see. Okay, any other question? I hope my question uh, is suitable. Okay, what? Another question is what will be approximate cost of the demo units?
Demo unit.
Uh, we before we demo free trial is available, but we would like to check the application in detail beforehand. So and then if we once we judge the application is suitable for these devices, because as I explained in my sessions, there are huge concentration ranges. So this device is suitable for here, another measurement monitor is here or something. So it's better we have to check beforehand the sensor is applicable for your application. So you can ask us about the application. Then, if we judge it is applicable, then we are ready to give you the free trial. Am I, did I answer you? Maybe? One moment. Another question is, do you plan to have any dust particle measurement product plan for the home housing unit market? I see. Yes, actually, yes. Uh, mm, Not exactly yes, but we are planning to launch new product air particle monitor. This is light scattering principle dust monitor, and the concentration range is much lower. So we can measure the dust concentration in house, office, or school, public places, shopping complex, multi-story parking lot, many places we have such chance. But we are relatively focusing on the continuous measurement monitor. So maybe we can if give you some like a combination product to make indication or something. So anyway, if I simply answer to your question, yes, we have. And we will show you the detailed presentation maybe next time about this new product. It will be available from this autumn. So next, oh, many questions. Do you have demo unit in your Tokyo office? Oh, very specific. We have to check, but I'm sure we have the demo units in this Kyushu area. So next question is, we are in South Africa. How do we work with you? Okay, I got your contact address maybe. So I will approach to you later. Bye, and we can discuss. We can discuss later. Okay. Next question is, so does this one is not, it seems not a question. Is the air dust monitor approved for using in the hazardous area? Can you answer to this question?
We don't have a not yet explosion proof type. So maybe next development stage is we have a explosion proof model for the air dust monitor.
Yes, and I think he's talking about hazardous area. So probably this is in the industrial plant. So for the industrial plant, we have another dust monitoring sensor we call dust monitor. This is for monitoring in the industrial process pipe, stack or bag filter or bag house. In that case, we have the sensor with intrinsically safe standard. So if you have such application, please let us know. We will make specific quotation. So many questions. What about the time? Okay. Do you have certificate of test for our customer have chimney top? I think he's talking about like a US EPA or something. If we simply answer to this question, no. In outside of Japan, no. If the situation is same, so many country has such their own regulations, government regulations. For bigger stock, they have to make measurement under the government standard or some regulations and need certification in that case. But this air dust monitor, we don't have. But the other tribal electric dust monitor, our dust monitor is strictly complied with Japanese standard and ISO standard. This measuring principle is certified by this standard. And if you need such certificate, we can issue our own certificate because this system is strictly complied with regulation, but we have no third-party authorization at the moment. I see there are many other questions, but let me try to. It seems. Okay. There are some similar questions. So, okay. And now it's already time is past. So, for those other questions, we will write down and send it to you by email later. Anyway, once again, we are terribly sorry about some slide malfunction during the webinar. And again, we will send you the full video later by email. And thank you so much for a lot of those questions. And the remaining questions, we will answer by separate email. And okay, again, thank you so much for joining us today about the webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
See you next
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.